What's up, YouTube?
You'll be hearing Chili Willy on Wkcv LP 103.
And I think we're okay with not hearing Chili Willy.
The voice of Keystone College.
And yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sports Talks here on Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you guys once again to, how can I put it, another interesting week in sports, I'm going to call it. I mean interesting to say the least. And honestly, the way I'm looking at this week is honestly start out with, first of all, shout out to Villanova. Who am I kidding? Shout out to Villanova, absolutely dominating the NCAA finals against Michigan. Honestly, a lot of people were like, oh, if Loyola moves on, they're gonna give Villanova a run. Honestly, not really. Not really how it worked. Honestly, part of me said that Michigan was going to win because, honestly, I always thought... I mean, honestly, the way I look at that for... what's it called? The way I look at it in terms of... How can I put it? The way I'm looking at it in terms of everything else, also for the awards and or not the awards, in terms of Michigan, honestly, I really do think that a lot of people can actually just say that... How can I put it? I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. My bad. And honestly, the reason I'm going to say... Actually, I'll say it like this. I really think that that Nova actually deserved it. And I said that Michigan would win because, honestly, I think that really it's just a case of, Big Ten was due. But obviously not to be so. But that's all right. But nonetheless, guys, shifting actually from the NCAA to the NBA, man. And I actually do want to go ahead. I do want to talk about two things. I do want to talk about how pretty much like the NBA, how can I put it? The NBA is wrapped up pretty much like this year. NBA wrapped up and everything for the Eastern Conference. Every playoff team is pretty much set. And in terms of the West, yeah, not really the same story. I mean, in the 11th through 15th seeds, so Lakers, Sacramento, Dallas, Memphis, Phoenix, all of them are gone. And legitimately, I mean, they're gone. They're out. There's no chance they can come back. I mean, Phoenix, they were out because they got 43 wins. Or they got 20 wins, and they're 43 and a half back. But really, what I actually do want to talk about is, in fact, that at the Western Conference, or actually, here, I'll put it to you like this. Let's start off by saying this. Is pretty much teams that are officially in for the Eastern Conference. It's Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Indiana, Miami, Washington, Milwaukee. Those are your 8 teams that are in right now. That's in order. First, so pretty much do the matchups. It would go as followed. It would go, and this is if the standings stay. Pretty much the way it would go is Toronto against Milwaukee, Boston against Washington, Miami against Cleveland, Indiana versus Philadelphia. Some pretty good first-round matchups. Can't even lie. Actually really good first-round matchups. But nonetheless, and then you go over to the Western Conference, and really the conference that I thought that a lot of people actually thought that would be a really tough conference to, decide and everything, is really just, how can I put it? It's coming down to the wire. Or really it is, because literally there are 3 teams that have been locked in already for a playoff spot, that are guaranteed to get into the playoffs, no matter what. And it's Houston and Golden State, and the third one's a little bit of a shock, Portland. Yeah, I know, wouldn't expect Portland in there, or would you? I know. Now, how can I put this? I'm going to say it like this. It's the way I'm looking at it right now is everybody's saying that, oh, San Antonio's not going to make it, OKC's not going to make it, Minnesota's not going to make it. Everyone's saying that, it's going to be Denver or it's going to be the Clippers. The only problem I really have with that, I don't disagree with it, but I honestly, I really don't think it's possible. I don't disagree with it. Don't get me wrong. I think Jokic is having a very good year. I think Gary Harris is doing pretty good. Will Barton's all right this year. Honestly, I think that, it's possible, but Jokic would honestly have to carry that team. And in terms of the Clippers, I mean, can't really say much Which, I mean, you really would have to just rely on Lou Will. You'd have to rely on DJ a lot, too. You would just have to rely on, like your stars to really just get it done and just start carrying the team and really just have to start hoping, more or less praying, I should say, that, a team like New Orleans who has a Rajon Rondo coming off the bench. I mean, think of it like this. This is New Orleans. I mean, yes, Cousins is hurt, but think of it like this. They got Rondo coming off the bench, who's an amazing, and I mean amazing, pass-first point guard. Or you got Davis, who honestly is an absolute stud and is being absolutely snubbed in the MVP race, in my opinion. I really don't think LeBron should be the second ranked. I'll get to that in a second. But really, I think Davis should be at least number 2 for the MVP race. You got Davis and you also got Drew Holiday. And you got to keep that in mind. Got Holiday out there. So really, I think that at the Pelicans, obviously, no DeMarcus Cousins, but I think even without DeMarcus Cousins, I definitely think that they're definitely, a threat in playoffs because of Anthony Davis. And honestly, I think that Davis is going to be the person that carries them. And then speaking of teams that are pretty much on the same boat, Minnesota. You got Butler, you got Jimmy Butler, or you got Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Derrick Rose, Jeff Teague, Taj Gibson. Really, there's nothing wrong with this Minnesota team. There's no reason that Minnesota shouldn't make the playoffs unless, obviously, somebody's injured. Or then really, I guess you could say, and I guess you could really just say that, how can I put it? I guess you could really just say that, as I'm looking at the injury report right here, or you can really say that everybody just has needs to just stick together, or in a sense. So, as I'm trying to see, because I'm pretty sure, it's Butler, Teague, and D Rose, and everything is pretty much a game time decision. But other than that, the team is pretty much at full strength. OKC, no way. Okay, there's no chance. I would bet money that Oklahoma City is not getting bumped. Utah, everybody thought that Utah was going to be a little bit of a question mark this year because of no Gordon Hayward, but honestly, they're proving that they didn't need Gordon Hayward. Or San Antonio, how can I put it? With San Antonio, it's obvious that, Kawhi Kawhi's out. They're expecting him to be out until April 7th. That's what they're expecting. So just before the playoffs, not a bad option. But really the question is, can Kawhi, be a big effect for the San Antonio team? Aldridge is doing pretty good. I can't really rely on that one. Patty Mills. And honestly, I think this team is just, Tony Parker is doing well. Ginobili. Honestly, I think this team is just underlooked. And Rudy Gay, Rudy Gay himself, taking over for, Kawhi is just, he's doing good. He's doing what he has to. So, really, I think that the Western Conference is virtually locked up. That 8th seed you can make the argument for the Nuggets, but really, I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. But nonetheless, guys, I actually, and real quick, if the NBA was to, or if the season was to end today, but it's going to end on next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is going to be the last set of games. So pretty much by the next broadcast, I will have the official teams that are in and the official matchups and everything. But really, if you look at it, what the matchups are going to be, it would be, if everything was to end today, Houston against New Orleans, which would honestly, that would be an amazing matchup. Up to see Davis put up against Anthony Davis, to see him put up against James Harden and company. That would be amazing. Honestly, the matchup that really would be the one to pay attention to would be Clint Capella and Clint Capella against Anthony Davis. That's going to be a good matchup. But who knows? Who knows, man? And the other thing thing too about that matchup is that it's actually going to be one of the few 1 versus 8 seeds that's actually going to be good. But so, oh yeah. And then you go ahead, and then it would be Golden State against Minnesota. And honestly, I think Minnesota would upset Golden State in a heartbeat. Like, I really do think that as they're projecting Curry to be back April 14th, but really, I don't see it. I really don't. I don't think that Golden State, I mean, even with the Big Four, I don't think Golden State can beat Minnesota. Now, give or take, yes, Minnesota or Golden State is a different team when it comes to the playoffs, but I definitely think that, with Butler, Towns, and Wiggins, I think that team is going to be very scary come playoffs. And like I said, who's going to defend Towns? I mean, you can't really, if you look at it, you can't really leave anybody open in that Minnesota team. Because, think of it like this. Let's put the matchup in perspective. All right, let's put the matchup in perspective. In terms of depth chart, and let's, everything. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, all right, I'll even go starters. Why not? All right, I'll go starters. So, pretty much to put it like this, is you got Wiggins versus point guard matchup. Say Curry isn't hurt. Say Curry's in, and it be Jeff Teague against Steph Curry. Teague is pretty good. Actually, who am I kidding? Teague is one of the better players when it comes down to playing defense. And honestly, I think it's definitely a good move. And it's honestly, Teague can honestly bully Curry on defense. And same thing, honestly, if Derrick Rose plays like the Derrick Rose we know, obviously he's not going to play like that MVP Derrick Rose. Forget that. But I think if Derrick Rose can actually play like he used to, I think he's going to expose Curry a lot. So you got that one going for you. Then, and at 2 guard, it's going to be, honestly, you would have to imagine it's going to be, if I had to guess, Wiggins against Thompson. And, that's my guess. Unless they throw Jimmy Butler at 2 guard. Still, nonetheless, whether it's, honestly, in my opinion, whether it's Butler or Wiggins, it's against Klay. Klay's pretty underrated in terms of defense himself. Often pretty good with offense. He sometimes gets forgotten about. But really, the question is, and I really do think that if Wiggins plays the way he plays, or if Butler plays the way he plays, it's whoever's on him. I definitely think that a lot can happen in terms of that aspect. As I said, in terms of Klay against whoever they throw on him. Now, the reason I said, potentially Butler or potentially Wiggins on Thompson is because you would probably want the matchup of Kevin Durant to take on Jimmy Butler. Or you would want Butler to face Durant, because obviously out of Butler and Wiggins is obviously the least, he's defensive, I guess you could put it, or Butler's more defensive. Honestly, nonetheless, Butler is just a better defender. Or really, I would rather have Jimmy Butler. Or as they have Butler listed as a guard and Wiggins as a small forward. But really, same height. I would probably put Butler on there. Put Butler on Kevin Durant. Only reason I would put Butler on Durant is because, honestly, Butler's 236, Durant's 240. And you look at the weight again, it's Butler 236, Wiggins 202, and really, Durant will just be able to muscle his way into the paint and everything. So really, that's one thing I would definitely keep an eye out on. Next guy I want to turn around and look at, next matchup I want to take a look at is the power forward matchup. And guys, come on, serious? Is this even a question? And it's Draymond against Taj Gibson. And honestly, I don't necessarily like Draymond's chances. The reason I don't is because Taj Gibson has him beat in virtually everything. And all right, Draymond's 6'7", 230. Gibson's 6'9", 235. Now, give or take, yes, Draymond is. I will give Draymond this. He is probably one of the most aggressive players in the NFL or in the NBA. Ignore the NFL comment. In the NBA, I think he's probably one of the best defenders in the NBA. Hey, do I think he's a defensive player or defensive player of the year candidate? No. No, I don't. I don't think he honestly is. I don't think he is. Honestly, I think that Taj Gibson can definitely lock him down. I definitely think that Gibson knows how to control Draymond. I definitely think that Gibson can get it done. And then the last matchup, and this is where you kind of throw up a little bit of a problem. It's Towns versus who? And I mean it. Like who? Like who? Who has been starting for Golden State? That's my question. Who's been starting at center? Because it's a mismatch. It truly is. Is because you have, I mean, I get it. You have 4 guys. You have 3 guys who are 7 foot. 2 of them 270, one of them 245, and you got one guy who's potentially a center, potentially not a center. He's 6'9". But I mean, like who starts? Who's the starting center for Golden State? This is a legitimate question, because honestly, that's the mismatch. Like, that is the legitimate mismatch. Is that center position. And when it comes down to the Warriors, like, think of it like this. The Warriors are going to be the 2 seed. All right? Warriors are more than definitely going to be the 2 seed. So this would be the opponents that they would most likely face off against. Oklahoma City. All right, here. 2 versus 3 seed. Here, 2 versus 7 seed, 3 versus 6 seed. So it'd pretty much be, they'd have a potential of facing they'd have to potentially face Portland, Oklahoma City, or Minnesota. I get it. They've blown out Portland. I understand. Completely. They've kept it close to get... Honestly, hey, I think Oklahoma City tied the season series this year. And Minnesota, honestly, Minnesota is just the matchup they don't want to have. And because really, you look at the center position for each team. For the Thunder, it's Steven Adams. Like, look at it like this. For the Thunder, it is Steven Adams. Alright, I'm going to pull that up right now. It's Steven Adams at center. That's who will be starting. Okay, right. It's Steven Adams, and it would also be... Who else is center? DeCarry Jones. That's the first guy I see. That's another center. But it's mostly going to be Steven Adams. And again, the question that I have is who is the starting center for Golden State? Because if we can't answer that honestly, and we say it's JaVale McGee, like, guys, here we go. We got let's go. We got the Golden State Warriors on right now. Let's see who's on the court right now for Golden State, or more or less who's starting. Let's see. All right, Oladipo's got 24 points. It's apparently already. Or nope, that was the last matchup. Oh, that was the last matchup. Game detail. Well, honestly, it's gonna bug everybody because we don't know who the starter is. If I'm correct, and honestly, if I'm correct, I really do think that I'm pretty sure it's Zaza, or it's JaVale McGee, and I don't think JaVale McGee is anything close to Karl Anthony Towns. So really, like I said, that's going to be your mismatch. Apparently it was Zaza who started. Apparently it was Zaza. They got Jordan Bell a lot of minutes. So really, it's a confusion. And honestly, I think that Golden State, I think they're done. They get matched up against the Timberwolves, I think they're done. And obviously, as I said before, Portland against Oklahoma City. Honestly, I think Oklahoma City would definitely have the potential to pull up an upset on that end. So, and then it would be Utah against San Antonio. And honestly, I think if San Antonio brings back Kawhi, I definitely think that San Antonio can handle Utah. But going ahead, let's go ahead. I want to actually get back to I want to get back to this MVP race. So now the thing that gets me is I get it. LeBron is the cover boy for the NBA. LeBron is LeBron. Hun, he is the GM. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, I'm serious on that. I really think that's a joke. I really think that's a joke. Honestly, I want to throw up one name. Potentially. Somebody will flip out for this. I understand why. I want to throw up one name for MVP candidate. And potentially, maybe Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe. I think he's definitely earned it this year. I definitely think that I definitely think he's found his own. It's Victor Oladipo. Definitely could go for Most Improved. But I definitely think that Oladipo definitely has a case for it. I mean, the reason I say I mean, 23 points a game. 23 points a game. Just about 4.5 rebounds per game, or 5 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists pretty much. And really, it's how can I put it? Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, he's at 0.8 blocks, which is pretty good for a 2 guard, and he's at 2.3 steals, which leads the NBA. Hey, so really, in a sense, you could throw Oladipo's name up there, but I don't think LeBron is the second candidate for MVP. I really don't. I think that the true MVP candidate right now is James Harden. And I think the only one that could probably give him a run for his money in terms of MVP is Anthony Davis. That's it. Take Curry out of there, take Durant out of there, take LeBron out of there. I don't think any of those guys should actually consider it. And I mean, look at Westbrook. Okay, I actually do want to look at Westbrook real quick. Like, he's not even in consideration, and I'm pretty sure Westbrook's averaging another triple-double. Oh, and this is what I find ridiculous about it. I mean, he's averaging another triple-double, pretty much almost same numbers he averaged last year, and he has better teammates this year. Okay, so really, it's a case of, like, why is Curry there? Why is LeBron there? Or why is Durant there? Like, why? Why? When you have guys who are doing a lot better than these guys, like, why are they there? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's up with the NBA anymore. I don't know what Adam Silver's doing anymore. It's so confusing right now. Oh, who knows, man? Who knows? Honestly, right now, I'm going to say it like this. For those of you who have wanted a new NBA Finals matchup, it's happening. Alright, it's happening no matter what. Whether you want it to or not, it's happening. No more LeBron and Curry in the finals. It's going to be something brand new. Ooh. Alright, honestly, who do I think... Honestly, if I had to pick right now, if everything was set right now, who do I think it's going to be? Honestly, I'm going to give it Houston in the finals. With Kyrie being out. I might say, depending on who moves on, maybe I'll say Philadelphia. Maybe I'll say the 76ers. Honestly, it's too tough for me to pick right now in the Eastern. It's not going to be Cleveland, I'm telling you that much. Honestly, I think it's either going to be Philly or it's going to be Toronto. Or possibly a bottom seed team. I mean, honestly, I don't know right now. It could be the Bucks. Who knows? Giannis could carry this team. Giannis went off last year in the playoffs. So really, I don't know who it's going to be. So, who knows, man? Who knows? It's going to be interesting nonetheless. Alright, guys. So, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to a couple songs real quick. I'm going to turn it over to like 2 or 3 songs. And then we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit of baseball because there's a big elephant in the room. And I kind of got to get rid of him. I kind of got to talk about him. But I'll go ahead and I'll give you guys a little bit of a break from hearing me. So I'll give you guys a little bit of break. Let's say 2 songs. Sound like a good deal? 2 songs, and then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of baseball. Alright. So guys, make sure you keep it locked here. Guys, you are listening to WKCV, the voice of Keystone College. Don't want YouTube to kill me. Do I have enough time to go get food? I think I do. Better if I tell Strum that... Better if I just tell Strum that I'm going to get food after my broadcast. Oh. Actually, I kind of got to stay up here because I got to get my sources. Alright, just tell Strum that I got to get food. So what's up, guys? So if you guys don't know, a little bit of crazy shit happened last night. I mean crazy shit. It apparently last night this is the funny thing. Last night we if you guys don't know, we lost power last night because of like a tree falling or something like that. And like I kind of touched on this earlier, like if you listen to the baseball game, like we have a code of conduct on, right? I think it is, right? Yeah, code of conduct. Like, or we had the policy where it's like, you know, power goes out, we have to move everybody. Now keep this in mind. Nobody got any sleep, like whatsoever. Like I didn't get any sleep. I barely got sleep. Like I was, like I laid down for like 10 minutes twice. So I got 20 minutes of sleep last night. Hey, then I had to get up this morning and went for a run. Because I have a class at 3:30, I can't practice normal time. But that's beside the point. But no, it's a joke in my opinion. Because like, why are we out? Like, I mean, last night, I get the heat is off and they don't want us to, like, get sick or whatever. I don't know what that ruling is. But, like, the thing with me is that I love this school. I do. It's just, every night, I don't sleep with my heat on. I can't lie. I don't sleep with the heat on. It bothers me. Because then I wake up, because then, like, for whatever reason, I wake up sweaty and whatever, and, like, it bothers me. Call me weird. I don't care. It bothers me. You know, I wake up all sweaty and shit. But, beside the point. Hey, as Chicago and Detroit are wrapping up a game, shit. But, no, back to what I was saying. But no, pretty much like this morning, we get moved. Like, here, I'll tell you what happened last night. Pretty much, like, at first I'm told, you know, we're not going to move or anything. So I'm like, okay. Hey, so then they're like, oh, we got to move over to Gamble, the athletic center. It's like, I get it. It's like, not even there had heat. Like, it was freaking cold in there. Or, like, I played basketball just to stay warm. Or, I mean, like, that's a joke. Like, it's a joke how cold it was last night. Hey, and, like, it's still, like, I'm still cold from being outside, like, 20 minutes ago. Or, like, an hour ago. Oh, like, I'm still cold. Like, I've been inside for an hour, and I'm still cold. Well, that's how cold it is right now. But, I know. Man, I gotta make sure it's... I'm just making sure it's the actual artist. Okay. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, we're good. But nonetheless, like, and like this morning, we're all, like, a lot of people move outside, right? They move, like, to the outside because a lot of people were, because some of the RAs were getting up. So, like, everybody's like, all right, we're going to get an announcement. So then they're like, yo, move into the gym. That's where they made the announcement. And the one person, I forget who it was. Like, I don't mean to badmouth or anything, but the one person turns around and she's like, listen, I haven't gotten any sleep. So listen, I'm not repeating myself. And it's like, nobody got any sleep. Like, if you slept, like, nobody slept. People took a nap for like 10 minutes, but everybody was up and around. So it's like nobody was really asleep. Everybody was awake. But she turns around and she says, like, you can't go back to your dorms or whatever. It's like, I get it. You can't go back to your dorms because of code of conduct or whatever. It's alright. I don't care. I partially, I don't. And as they had Hanley's walk-off single. Who knows? All I know is that it's been a crazy last couple of nights. Or last couple... well, minutes. Or last couple hours. No, that's alright. I'm not mad about it. I'm just tired, that's all. Yeah, it's Judge at bat now. Wait, does that say the show? That's funny. Alright, give me a sec. Gonna go ahead, let's talk baseball. 4, 3, 2, 1. And Wkcv, the voice of Keystone College, is back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to more sports talks here on the channel. Oh, and guys, yeah, I got a little bit of a big, fat elephant to talk about in the room. And, I mean, this elephant is so huge that we can't even fit him out the door again. Like, we don't even know how he got in here. Here. Alright, now, the fat elephant in the room is no... Don't worry, it's not a person. Don't worry. I'm not talking about that. Don't worry. I'm not talking about it being a person. That would just, that wouldn't be nice of me. That wouldn't be nice. If I turn around and it was like, oh, there's a fat elephant in the room. Gotta get him out. Oh. I wouldn't do that, guys. But nonetheless, guys, so real quick. Gotta talk about last night's game with the Yankees. Gotta talk about gotta talk about the Yankees game last night. And guys, this is the scary thing that we've been talking about with Stanton, Judge, and Sanchez on the same team. All three of them, all three homered last night. Like, and honestly, that is just filthy. When all three of those guys can, like, homer, that's scary, man. And as apparently there's a live looking going in, so I guess I'll turn around and I'll give you guys a little bit of play-by-play. Why not? As game isn't loading, which it actually means that we're probably not going to get a live look in. All good. All good. It's actually the wrap-up of the Tigers-White Sox game. And honestly, I think that game is actually going to be really good. If it gives me a live look in, I'll definitely do play-by-play on it for you guys. Like, I got no issue with that. And so... But nonetheless, guys, I actually do want to bring up something. I do want to, speaking of, I actually do want to talk about the AL Central real quick and the NL Central real quick. I kind of want to, like, break that down real quick. Because, honestly, I actually do want to, break down the, what's it called? I do want to break down the picks of the, what's it called? How can I put it? I'm trying to think of it. My bad. Oh, of the AL what's it called? The postseason prediction, if you will. Well, I want to break that down because Mark Teixeira and John Farrell, both of them called it. And really, I don't agree with it. What's it called? And really, I get it was like a week ago, but I wasn't here a week ago. So I kind of just want to do it. And if you guys don't know who Mark Teixeira and John Farrell is, both of them obviously. All right, so I'll put it to you like this: Mark Teixeira is obviously a former Yankee, former DH, so obviously you got that going, and John Farrell, former manager of the Red Sox. So, right now, just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring up what their predictions are, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I think is wrong about them, what I think is right about them. So right now, this is what they have. Like for Teixeira, I'll read off Teixeira's first. For Teixeira's AL, it's it's Anaheim, or Los Angeles. It's the Angels, the Red Sox, the Indians, the Yankees, and the Astros. Now, I'll go ahead and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. I don't think the Angels are going to make it. I don't think the Twins are going to make it. I'm sorry. I don't think either of those teams are making it. All right? I think Ohtani is just... I get it. He's homered a couple of times. Congrats. Whoopee. He's homered. Congrats. I mean, Judge is homered. Stanton's homered. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nelson Cruz is homered too. Now, the thing I want to talk about is who I think is going to... I'm going to say, get these wild card spots. It's where I think they're going to go. So, for Teixeira and Farrell, it's, like I said, for Teixeira, it's Houston. I'll go 5-1. So pretty much, the first team. So pretty much, first team on my list is going to be the second, and then it's going to be the first wild card team. Then it's going to be the 3 seed, the 2 seed, and the 1 seed. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'll do it like this. So, for Teixeira, for Teixeira and Farrell, they're both the same way. They both have the Astros having the best record in the American League. I get, and I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Then for Teixeira, he has the Yankees as the second position. I'll agree with that. For Farrell, he has the Indians. I disagree with that. I think it's going to be the Yankees. He's like right now 1, 2, 3 for Teixeira. I agree with 100%. Actually, 1 through 4, I agree with. It in that order. Like both of them, I think have it right. I just think they have the second playoff team wrong. So right now, pretty much they have Houston, New York, Boston, or Houston, New York, Cleveland, and Boston. So pretty much you got those 4 teams, and that's the way I have it, and that's the way Teixeira has it. I agree with him on that. Now, do I think Houston is going to take it over? Yeah, I think Houston is going to take over. All right. Now, do I think that, obviously, Cleveland, they're off to a rough start, 2-4, but do I think that, Minnesota might have a shot at it? Honestly, Farrell has Minnesota in there, and Teixeira has Los Angeles in there, as I said, and I disagree. I'm going to actually go ahead. I'm going to give it to a team in the West. And you guys, if you guys have heard my broadcast, you've heard me praise this team a little bit. It's the White Sox, or it's the not the White Sox, as I clicked on the Red Sox by accident. It's the Mariners. I definitely think that the Mariners have a shot. Not honestly, I think they have a little bit more than a shot. I think the Mariners definitely have a roster to get it done, especially adding Colby Rasmus. As I said, I think Rasmus is going to add that power, or I think that the Mariners actually need. So, definitely a good sign from Seattle. Well, and especially since Cano is obviously, I think Cano is definitely finding his own right now. In Seattle. I definitely do think that. I definitely think this team is doing pretty well. I can't lie. I think they're doing really well. And real quick, I just want to check on JD Martinez's stats. Obvious reasons. So, yeah, kind of just looking at it right now. And just looking at the 40-man roster. So right now, it's pretty much Cruz, who's on the 10-day DL. It's Ichiro, who's honestly, again, finding his own. Ichiro, who's back. D. Gordon. Colby Rasmus didn't sign with the, Oh, wow. I thought that Colby Rasmus signed with the, signed with Seattle. I guess not. Oh well. Oh well, but still, it works. It works in a sense. And it's because honestly, I definitely do think that these guys are doing really well. I definitely think that they got the squad to do it. I mean, in Paxton, he's gonna do really well. Paxton, I think, is gonna do well. King Felix, I think he's gonna definitely have a good year. They got Edwin Diaz in the back at the bullpen, who I think honestly is again gonna be underrated. So I definitely think that Seattle definitely has it on lock. I think they definitely can get that second wild card spot. Question is, will they? Hey, I mean, honestly, if I had to make a second prediction, I'd have to go with I have to go with what's his name? I have to go with John Farrell. I think it would be the Twins. And so, yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle for me. Yeah, but now I'm actually gonna go ahead. I'll talk about the what's called. I want to talk about JD Martinez right now, because actually he's kind of being a bust of a signing, and he's 4 for 23 right now, which is funny because of the fact that, like I said, he's 4 for 23 and he's batting 174. He hasn't hit a homer yet. And I think he honestly, in a sense, I think he needs to get used to the stadium, but at the same time, I definitely think that if he doesn't shape up soon, I think that we can definitely say that he's a bust. As the Tigers tied it up. Wow. So I just gotta say this real quick. The Tigers were down 7-4. All right, Tigers were down 7-4. I think it was going into the top of the ninth, and the White Sox just blew it. They legitimately just blew it. So it is now 7-7 in that game. Hey man, I just gotta point out this fun fact real quick. So if you guys go on MLB.com and you click on any game, and this is like on the web, if you go on MLB.com or anywhere in a sense, you click on game day, guys, I'm not joking with you. It legitimately, it legitimately gives you the entire, it gives you the, it gives you an MLB The Show look at the game, which I find pretty funny. So, all good on that end, and all good. But as right now, I'm kind of also just looking at the play-by-play right now. Oh, because right now it is a, what's it called? It's an out, and right now it's actually, I think that's Leonis Martin up to bat right now. Or no, it's Sanchez. Sanchez is batting right now, so, he's got a 1-0 count to work with, so, got that going for you. But bouncing back to what we were talking about the, NL playoff race. Now, right now, what Teixeira and Farrell have right now is this. This is Teixeira's one. Best record is going to be the Cubs. 2 and 3 seed is going to be the Dodgers and Nationals. While Diamondbacks and Mets are going to be the team that actually face off in the wild card, or with the Diamondbacks being in the home field. Well, for Farrell, it's kind of shocking. He's got the Cubs and Nationals. Well, Cubs with the best record, Nationals second best. As Rockies winning the NL West. The Dodgers winning in the first wild card spot, and the Diamondbacks winning the 5th. Alright, I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that I think that I agree with Farrell in a sense. Or Teixeira, I agree with him in a sense. As much as it kills me to say that, I agree with Mark Teixeira in a sense. And for once, Met fans, rejoice. I actually think you're actually going to do something this year. For once. But I think you'll definitely be honestly, I think you'll be, I agree with Tex. I think you'll be the away team for the wild card. Alright, now, I'm going to say it like this. I disagree with Farrell and Teixeira. I don't, honestly, I'll agree that I think that the Rockies definitely have a chance to, potentially, and this is potentially, if this team turns around. I think that the Rockies can definitely turn around and get something done and maybe make a push for the division, but I definitely think that the Rockies could definitely take that one wild card spot. Honestly, I think the wild card in the NL is going to be a lot tougher to pick than it would be in the AL. So I definitely do think that. I definitely agree with that theory. I think that, it's going to be tougher to pick the AL than it would be, or tougher to pick the NL than it would be the AL. Now, in terms of who wins each division, honestly, Central, I think it's the Cubs. Honestly, I think if Darvish turns around, I think it's the Cubs. But again, Darvish is going to be that question mark. All right. Unfortunately, how can I put it? Unfortunately, as that White Sox, as that at Detroit, Chicago game is going to extras officially. Now, who do I think is going to win the Central? Well, I think it's going to be the Cubs, as I said. Obviously, Darvish needs to turn around. Who do I think it... Honestly, I think Cubs might... You know what? No. I'm going to give the Cubs second best record in the... Actually, I'll give the Cubs third. I'll go bold. I think the Cubs get third best record to make the playoffs. Their best record. First best record, I'm going to give it a tie. First best record, I won't give it a tie. But I will say this. I think it's going to be a pretty close race for 1, 2, and 3. Because I definitely think it's going to be between Washington, Chicago, and the Dodgers again. And I definitely think that. But I'm going to say it like this. Do not be surprised if Colorado and Arizona try and make a push. Same thing with New York. All right? Honestly, for the Mets... All right, this is what I'll say. For the Mets to actually do well... or for the Mets to actually, get it done, because they actually got it done last night again. They actually got it done last night against, or was it today? Oh, they got it done today against Washington and won 8-2. Oh, but nonetheless, I think that at this team, that the Mets and the Nationals, I think that both of them could definitely fight it out. Oh, and really, I think it's going to be tough in the NL. But honestly, if I had to pick right now, I'm going to say it like this. I think I'll give the Nationals best record in the NL. First time I think the Nationals get it done, because I think Harper's going to have a monster, and I mean monster year. And I think that the rotation is just going to figure itself out for once. So I'm going to give it to Washington getting the 1 seed. So that means I got to pick between who I think is going to be the 2 and the 3 seed for the National League. And for the 2 seed, I'm going to give it to the Cubs. I'll give it to the Cubs. Why not? 3 seed, I'll give it to the Dodgers, because honestly, oh my god, I think the Dodgers are definitely going to be the team to fear, or in a sense. However, this is going to be my big however, and I'm not saying this, alright? I'll pick the wild card as this. I think the wild card might come down to the Mets and one of 3 teams from the NL West, who I think are getting, and I think one team is definitely getting underlooked. And I honestly think that, with the 3 new additions that they have this year, I think that they should make a push for it. But I mean, who knows with this team anymore? Who knows? And the team I'm talking about is San Francisco. Now the 3 teams I'm actually talking about in the West, it's Arizona, Colorado, San Francisco. I think those 3 teams and the Mets are going to be fighting for that last wild card spot. All right, now who gets it? I don't know. I really don't. And how can I put it? If I'm looking at this in if I'm looking at this in terms of a prediction standpoint, in terms of like rotation wise, everything like that, I'm gonna give it to the Mets. It's the reason I'm gonna give it to the Mets is because like if this Mets team, I'll say it again, if the Mets can stay healthy, Mets are perfect. Mets are perfect. Because they actually have a decent roster this year. And we can actually say that in confidence. I mean, they have Frazier, they have Conforto, they have Cespedes, they have Bruce. They have a squad to get it done. And even in the, how can I put it? Even regularly, or even in the rotation, with Syndergaard, or DeGrom, Matz, Harvey, Lugo, I think that rotation is something to be messed with, and Familia in the back of the bullpen is just going to be filthy. Okay? I think that Harvey just needs to figure himself out. This is what I think. I think that Harvey needs to figure himself out. I think Lugo needs to figure himself out. I think Matz needs to find himself out. Other than that, there is nothing wrong with this team. I mean, even Adrian Gonzalez, even Agon is doing good this year. I mean, honestly, I think the Mets picking up Adrian Gonzalez was an absolute steal. He's doing good for them. He hasn't homered yet, but still. Look, he's batting .294. Or, like, why would Atlanta get rid of him? I don't know. I mean, it's a joke right now. I mean, right now I can't pick the wild card. I really can't. And why can't I pick the wild card? Because honestly, between those 4 teams, it's going to be a deadlock. Look, and even between, I'll throw up one team in the East Central. Between the Brewers, it would actually be really interesting. But right now, just got to see how it plays out, really. That's how it has to go. We have to see how it plays out. And honestly, I don't know if we can really trust that NL West. I mean, it's going to be scary to think. I mean, it's a rotation to get really behind. Or it's just really something that you got to pay attention to. You really have to. As pretty much to wrap up the show, I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to go over a couple of NFL transactions, and we'll also go over some of the scores that have happened in baseball. So, just to wrap it up real quick. So, NFL transaction, and so far, no real big names right now. I know RG3 actually just signed. I just remember that. RG3 signed with the, what is it? With the Ravens. There you go. Oh, you got that going. And in terms of anything else, not really a lot going on in football. Also, yeah, you got that. I'll go ahead. I'll check March for you guys as well, for March of this year. And not really much going on right now in terms of football. Everybody's kind of just being quiet about it. So go back up to the top. Yeah, not really much. It's Cody Kessler was traded. And Justin Coleman. And yeah, not that much. All good. But nonetheless, guys, let's go ahead and I'll run over this these results real quick for baseball. So going ahead, starting off with the ones that are final. So right now, Mets beat the Nationals today, 8-2. Bruce hit a grand slam, and in the top of the 7th, honestly, just pushed that one away. Boston was able to beat Tampa Bay 3-2 off of Hanley Ramirez's walk-off single. Philadelphia shut down Miami. I think Arrieta got the start in that game. I'll check that real quick. I think if I'm right, Philadelphia tossed out. Nope, it was actually Pivetta. All right, no problem. But nonetheless, Philly got the shutout, 5-0. And Texas beat Oakland 6-3. Colorado beat San Diego 3-1. And Minnesota was able to beat Seattle 4-2. Ooh. And then we'll go ahead. Let's finish out this finish out by what's going on right now. What's live? So top 10 right now out in Chicago. It's 7-7 Detroit, or 7-7 Detroit and Chicago, and a deadlock right there. Or Baltimore and Tampa, or Baltimore and New York. The Yankees, he's nothing right now. All through 5 going into the bottom of that inning. In Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, Cincinnati's up 1-0. In bottom 3, mid 2, it's Arizona 2. Who's St. Louis 0, or St. Louis nothing, I should say. And then at 8:10 tonight, the one game that's coming up, it's going to be the Chicago Cubs against the Milwaukee Brewers. And starting for those two teams, I think it's part of me says it's going to be Lester, right? Yep, it's John Lester against Drew Stutter, or Brent Stutter. My bad. All right, no problem. All right, guys. So gonna go ahead and we're gonna call it a little early today. I know. Didn't go a full hour. All good, guys. All good, though. But nonetheless, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. Real quick, I might as well give you guys a final on that Keystone Giant game. Real quick, men's baseball actually did go ahead and they did lose today. They lost 7-3. I think was the final. Yeah, 7-3. He was the final on that one. And so, got that going for you. Baseball lost 7-3 today. Here's I'm checking out the final results. Softball lost two doubleheaders today, back-to-back 7-4, 11-6. Wow. First game for softball was 7-4, and then Giants and then baseball 7-3. Wow, that's interesting. And yeah, that pretty much did it for today. And really, the next thing that you would have coming up is what's called? Well, you would have Clark Summit to face men's tennis tomorrow. At the Birchwood Tennis Club up in Clark Summit, and then you would have Alvernia, I believe it is, University Invitational for men's and women's track and field on Saturday, along with the doubleheader for baseball and softball. Baseball would be at Cabrini, and then softball would be right here over at Edwards Field. So not bad. So, all right, guys. So that is gonna do it for me today. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. It always makes a big difference for me when you guys, you tune in, you listen. And I know a lot of people don't understand what I'm talking about half the time, but the support's there. And I appreciate that, guys. So, like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for so much for listening, so much for watching if you were on the Facebook and YouTube stream. So, guys, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. Guys, I will be back here, once again, next week. And honestly, next week it's going to be a little bit more eventful because we will officially have the full listings as to who is going to be in for the NBA playoffs. And really just like what the seeding is and everything, and honestly to see how everything is going to bolt out in that series. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys. So like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. I do appreciate it. And guys, I will go ahead and I will talk to you guys later. Take it easy, guys. I should probably get that on. Yeah, do the art card. Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Oh, that cracked my elbow. That hurt. My neck. It's like, my neck. Alright, guys. Nonetheless, thank you guys for listening. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. Nonetheless, guys, I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. YouTube, I'll probably talk to you later. Or Facebook, I might talk to you tomorrow? Maybe? Who knows? Alright, guys. Nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. YouTube. Deuces, guys. Later, YouTube.